Hello, my very dear Cancers. This is your reading for the week of June 8th, or when you hear it and it resonates, and it will not be for every Cancer. So as I started working with your energy and asking Spirit what they wanted to offer you this week, I saw a zipper, big zipper that ran right down the middle of you like this. And I did not know what the connection was going to be. So as I started asking for clarification, this is what came. Sometimes in the past, you have met people who you unzipped for. Literally, you opened your heart to like this. And it was because you felt some kind of comfort with them. You didn't feel static. You didn't feel a lot of intense emotion. But because you didn't have that immediate hit of intense emotion, because you probably felt charm and ease and smoothness, you didn't always check your intuition to see whether or not that was somebody that really had the characteristics. This makes sense now. That it didn't have the characteristics that really were in accordance with your heart. You felt like they would be, or you felt like this would be something you could explore with a certain modicum of safety, emotional safety, because you didn't get that immediate jarring quality. And because you very often tend to give the benefit of the doubt to people, because that is part of just the nature of the open-hearted Cancer, what often happened was you ended up getting eaten up like a soft shell crab. And that, because you just took that off and you went, okay, I think it's good. Let's go and see what's going on here. And again, this is not necessarily just romance. This can be any situation where you are encountering another person and you're trying to figure out whether or not the dynamic of that relationship is good for you. So what you're being told is this, my dears. If you think of the fact that part of the reason you have a shell is because you are tender, and that it's up to you. And part of what you've been learning is how to moderate the situations, how to moderate your own emotions and your own perceptions so that you can make choices that are actually going to be something that can last longer, if that's what you wish. Now, but also there's something else here. Check in to see whether or not when you unzipped before, whether or not that was because you just simply wanted to have some kind of input to your energy and some kind of waking up in your life to get you moving. Because sometimes the tendency of the Cancer energy can be that you hunker down and you close in and you zip up and you stay within that energy, and at a certain point it can feel really claustrophobic, just like a crab or a lobster. The shellfish of that nature will grow to a certain point and then the shell is too tight. It's a signal that there's growth happening. They get rid of the shell and they grow a new one. So just like the lobsters and the crabs that have to get rid of their shell because they're too tight, because they're growing, this also happens to you. The difference is now what you're learning is you're learning how to be able to, I have to go back to that one a little bit here. Hold on a minute, please. You learned those ways. You learned by doing that. There's no blame in that at all. What Spirit is saying, however, is that now that you are learning how to be more consistently open and learn how to work with your own zipper to see, okay, I can take it down this far. How does my heart feel now? And now further and now further. Now this is where you get to really understand that you can really judge a lot more clearly, and that you can open to get more input without opening all the way to have yourself flooded by somebody else's emotions. You can have a tendency to go for charm and for that easygoing kind of banter, because that feels like it's not going to be a problem. It feels a little bit more comfortable, again, rather than, being with people who are expressing really intense emotion. But the thing is, that quality of charm has fooled you sometimes, because that can be somebody else's social mask that they put on to hide whatever their issues are, whether it's deliberate or whether it's just their coping mechanism. This now is where you're getting to understand it. So if I want to break it down really simply, which they're asking me to do, it is this. Now you're learning how to open yourself gradually so that you can have more energetic and emotional input at incremental levels that are inspiring for you, that keep you feeling alive and like you're dynamic. You don't have to stay completely shut and then just take the shell off completely. That hasn't always worked for you. Now what you're learning to do, what is being suggested, is allow yourself to lower your own emotional zipper gradually, by keeping a calm focus, by really understanding what it is you like, and by using your intuition, which you can do if you stay in a calm focus. I heard something recently and I really liked it. It was somebody speaking about when you think when you're really overwhelmed by somebody in a good way and you're thinking they are fantastic and they've been really charming and you thought you've had a really good chat, go away and write down what it is they said, what the content of the conversation actually was. Because what you will sometimes find, especially if it is just like performative, is that there will be very little content. It will be more just a lot of words that are designed to make you feel safe and appreciated. So again, not necessarily that it's a malicious, deliberate, intentional snow job. This may just be how they've learned how to be socially. But the thing is it won't necessarily give you a true reading of who they are and whether or not it's time for you to judge whether or not you're ready to open that emotional zipper. Okay? I'm going to leave you with that, my very dear Cancers. This is good. This is progress. Much love.